Hi there and welcome to Marquette Lately. My name is Kira Collins and I will be your host for this evening. Hopefully y'all had a fun and safe Halloween weekend. As always, we'll be talking about what's been going on in the world lately. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Marlo, Al, and Aaron have the scoop on some of the weekend's craziest costumes.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Style in the City. I'm your host, Elle Geringer.
Hey guys, I'm Marlo Marisi.
And I'm Aaron Bledsoe.
Tonight, we'll be critiquing a couple celebs who dressed up for Halloween last week, namely at Heidi Klum's annual Vegas Halloween Bash. So let's get started, Aaron.
All right. Well, Heidi Klum was drop dead, but she wasn't gorgeous this time, unfortunately. The German supermodel made her grand entrance as she came with her bloody surgeons on a stretcher. I thought it was interesting for maybe like a photo shoot, but not for real life. Not at all.
No. Halloween is a holiday where you're supposed to dress as you want to be.
Right.
Usually people would be a superhero, a superstar, not usually super dead.
It's
So-
just disgusting, disgusting,
She
disgusting.
did surprise people, which I mean at your own party, that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Makeup took about 3 hours. It's just a lot of fun, even though I don't look like a lot of fun tonight because I'm really dead.
Next.
Now at that party, my not-so-favorite little sleut, Kim Kardashian, was dressed up as famous Batman villain Poison Ivy. Now, even though I really don't like her, she actually looked really good. She had on these super fierce false eyelashes. She had her red hair, a fun little dress, and so, I mean, don't like her, but I give her a 10 because she looked really good.
She looked hot, and a lot of people tried to pull it off. I saw Julianne Hough even tried to do the Poison Ivy. She didn't look as good. No, but briefly before she went in, she spoke about her originality.
Thought there's no better costume than to be Poison Ivy because I kind of wanted, you know, it's like the melon liqueur. It's a green drink. I wanted to wear something green and still be sexy.
Talk about perfect timing. Nick Lachey and Kelly Ripa on their show dressed up as Kim Kardashian and Chris Humphries. Nick Lachey wore stilts, which were so cool, and the Kim Kardashian had the little
signature little
jewel
headband
thing.
that Kim wore for her wedding.
Yeah, it was so
really
cool.
funny.
I
I thought it
loved
was hilarious, personally.
I loved it. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Happy fairy tales.
Yeah. Now, my favorite, 17-year-old Courtney Stodden, who, if you guys don't know, she's married to a 51-year-old actor.
Another little sleut.
Yeah. She dressed up as a little schoolgirl, which you don't need to put too much effort into it when you're 17 years old. And her pedophile-esque husband dressed up as her. I thought it was like, when I was looking at the pictures, I thought it was her big friend.
They're wrong on so many different levels, and this Halloween did not help because she's the perfect example of what not to dress as for Halloween. She's wearing little hooker boots. Like I don't really know. And he's just creepy. Dressing as your 17-year-old wife is not good. Not good.
Days before, they got kicked out of a pumpkin patch by mothers who were just disgusted by the pumpkin patch princess and her pervy man toy.
She is disgusting.
Oh,
It was bad.
yeah. What was she trick-or-treating for, though? Dollar bills? Like, what was that about? I didn't get it.
That was good. That was good.
And then,
Oh, well, speaking of weird connections, David Spade and Sarah Silverman dressed up as the Human Centipede. Thought that was really interesting. What did you guys think?
I think Sarah Silverman was in for a huge treat after David finished all of his Halloween candy.
Ew. I mean, both of those last two people that we just talked about, Courtney Stodden and Human Centipede, both things, they have something in common. They both make me want to vomit, like, profusely, and that's just, they're just, I don't know. Don't do that. That's disgusting. But then
Last but not least.
My favorite, our inspiration, Fashion Police, the goddess herself, Joan Rivers, and her team, Juliana Rancic, Kelly Osbourne, George Katsiopoulos, dressed up for Fashion Police for their segment. And Joan Rivers dressed up as Surrey Cruise. She had 2 cardboard cutouts of Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise. And she looked hilarious. She was holding a little sign that said, "Help me." And then Juliana was dressed up as Posh Spice.
She was so good as Posh Spice.
I literally had to do a double take.
Except her accent was not to
Oh, I
bar.
didn't actually hear her accent. But I don't
Not
like
good.
Posh Spice either. She's a pretentious little
I think they all look really good, though.
Yes.
They pulled it off awesomely.
Definitely. Kelly and George, love them. But those are basically the celebs that we thought had the best and worst costumes. The worst, obviously, being Courtney Stodden and Heidi Klum. The best being, as I hate to say it, Kim Kardashian and Fashion Police. But that's all we have time for this week. So we'll catch you next week on Style in the City. Back to you, Kira.
Thanks, guys. Athletes have mastered the field, but can they master the television screen? Stay tuned to find out. We all know those athletes filled with plenty of talent, but when it comes to social cues, some are totally lost. Foxy Mike Fox and Crazy Kevin have the story.
Welcome to the Weekly Fumble. I'm Mike Fox, and with me is Kevin Clancy. Over the weekend, after the New York Giants snuck past the Miami Dolphins 20-17, Brandon Jacobs, who came off of a 2-week injury and had a drop pass and a fumble in the matchup, had a few words to say. And I quote, "I've got nothing positive to say," said Jacobs. "The most positive thing, I got a family at home and I got a fast-ass car being delivered on Tuesday. That's it." I like that he's really focused on football.
Yeah, really. Now, as bad as that interview was, I'm pretty sure it won't become as recognizable as playoffs. This interview was made popular by Coors Light when they did a string of commercials with the interview in it. That's right, it's none other than Jim Mora's famous playoffs speech.
And that was a disgraceful performance, in my opinion. We threw that game. We gave it away by doing that. We gave them the friggin' game. In my opinion, that sucked. What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
As hilarious as those Coors commercials are, I'm not sure if Mora shares the same intensity as Oklahoma State coach Mike Gundy did after his team upset Texas Tech. The interview afterwards wasn't even about the game. It was directed at a reporter.
Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Write something about me or our coaches. Don't write about a kid that does everything right, that's heart's broken, and then say that the coaches said he was scared. That ain't true. And then to say that we made that decision because Donovan Woods, because he threatened to transfer, that's not true. So get your facts straight. And I hope someday you have a child and somebody downgrades them and belittles them, and you have to look them in the eye and say, you know what, it's okay. They're supposed to be mature adults, but they're really not. Who's the kid here? Who's the kid here? Are you kidding me? That's all I got to say. Makes me want to puke.
In my opinion, this next clip is the single greatest piece of interviewing I have ever seen. The reporter gathers so much key information. Just watch.
What does it mean to you now when the team is struggling?
I want to kiss you. I couldn't care less about the team struggling. We're looking to next season. We're looking to make a noise now, and I want to kiss you.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah!
That's a huge compliment.
Wow, breathtaking. Well, that's all we have for this week's edition of the Weekly Fumble. As always, I'm Kevin Clancy, and this is Mike Fox. We'll see you next week. Back to you, Kira.
The weather has gotten much chillier, but luckily Brandon has some foods to warm your stomach.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to Something to Chew On. It's Brandon, your host with the most, or should I say your host with the toast? Get it? Because this is a food show and toast is food. Well, anyway, this week I thought we could talk about foods to keep you warm when it's cold outside. This idea was inspired by the blizzard this past weekend over there in the Northeast. I figured with such a surprise blizzard like that, most people weren't dressed well for the weather. And since we're over here in Milwaukee, the same thing can happen to us at any moment. But we don't have to worry about it because I'm going to show you the light. Guardian Health Chronicle says that when food is broken down in your body, it produces energy in the form of heat. So when you think about it, the more you eat, the warmer you'll be since your body is using that energy to metabolize your food. Breaking down protein causes your body to use more energy than anything else you ingest. What does that mean exactly? It means that it'll be worth your while to eat foods that are higher in protein, of course. Some foods that fit into that category are eggs, poultry like fish and chicken, beef, nuts, and soy milk. Yes, soy milk. Those will raise your body temperature and keep you active throughout the day and alert. You know what that means. That's right, no more falling asleep in class. Since your metabolism is active, using more energy trying to break down the protein in your body, you won't be dormant, which means you won't be a zombie. No more of that constant nodding that occurs when you're falling asleep, but you catch yourself right before you go too deep into it. And you didn't hear this from me, but alcohol Alcoholic beverages like wine when you're 21 can keep you warm because it increases your metabolism and boosts your blood flow. There's one catch though. That only works if you drink it in moderation. So just one glass, and not a big glass, just a regular size one. Drink too much and you'll actually get kind of sleepier, or so I've heard. Also, spices like nutmeg, cloves, bay leaf, and black pepper increase your body temperature. So once again, if you use it in moderation in your food, your body will be warm and active throughout the day. One thing though, because I know there are some bare minimum type of people out there, but you shouldn't rely solely on food to keep you warm all day. I mean, if at all possible, go get some extra clothes. Don't come outside in a blizzard with some swim trunks and a double cheeseburger and expect to be warm. That just about does it for your favorite segment of the night, Something to Chew On. I'm Brandon, your host with the toast, and I'll see you all next time, same place.
I'll have to get some more adventure in me before I try some of those spices. Didn't hear the shocking news about a Hollywood celeb couple yesterday? Stay tuned to find out more. Welcome back. Just in case you didn't hear the news yesterday about our favorite celebrity couple, I don't know how you wouldn't unless you live under a rock, which means you wouldn't be watching this right now, but if you missed it, here's Lisa to fill you in.
Hello and welcome to High Society. I am your host, Lisa Mihalik. All right, tonight I could talk to you about Lindsay Lohan getting some new pearly whites to replace her rotting zombie teeth, or Jessica Simpson having a baby, or even how Kelly Clarkson is kind of stuck in Struggle City trying to find her soulmate. Well, those are gonna have to take a back seat tonight because we have some breaking news on our hands here. I can't even talk about those other stories right now because of how shocked I am. I mean, these people that I'm about to mention made a bigger deal about their wedding than Prince William and Princess Kate Middleton. But really, I'm gonna show you a video of the news I'm about to talk about because I am just speechless right now.
It was the $10 million walk down the aisle. The wedding special that aired on E! So lavish, it was compared to the royal nuptials. But could Kim Kardashian's fairy tale with Kris Humphries be in jeopardy after just 2 months?
Kim, Kris, kaput!
TMZ posted this video over the weekend that claims to show them fighting in her car, and Kim was solo at her Halloween bash Saturday. Since saying I do, the couple has hit the tabloid covers for all the wrong reasons, with stories claiming he's tired of her materialism, while she's fed up with his partying during the NBA lockout and alleged mooching ways. This week's cover of Us Weekly asks if Kim is ready to call it quits.
There seems to be a lot of tension here, whether it's Kris not working or Kris not getting on with the rest of the Kardashian family.
Though Kim recently told People magazine their marriage is fine, she admitted the couple's living situation is not ideal because you're newlyweds and you want privacy. Her mother, Kris Jenner, responded saying they're going two separate directions with work, and she's confident that they'll figure it out as soon as they get back to LA. Fitting into the very close and public family also hasn't been easy.
I don't know, is this very opportunistic of you?
Opportunistic would be like, hey, I'm trying to come up off of Kim, or hey.
But you have come up off of Kim.
As for the newlyweds, who have always been an open book, this time they had no comment.
That's right. Just yesterday, October 31st, 2011, Kim Kardashian files for divorce from Kris Humphries. I would give you all some time right now to just take this all in and maybe a moment to grasp the very sudden change in all of your lives, but unfortunately, we simply don't have time for that tonight. Kim says the divorce was filed for irreconcilable differences. Sounds pretty vague to me. Apparently, Kris is flat out devastated about Kim's divorce decision and says he still loves her. Now, I don't know about you, but the lack of communication here is just too much for me. He says that he is committed and not ready to give up. Well, good luck, Kris. It doesn't even sound like he knew about this divorce.
For Kris, he is expressing surprise over the news, saying, I love my wife and am devastated to learn she filed for divorce. He also says he's committed to the marriage and willing to do whatever it takes to make it work.
Wow, Kim was married to this man for only a short 72 days. I hope they are ready to receive some judgment eyes from like everyone. I must show you here what Kim said before the divorce. It really doesn't sound like they knew each other.
I realize that he is a slob. You know, I think at the beginning phases, you always act like I'm always a neat freak, but I think he was acting like he was such a neat freak.
No, he was good behavior.
He was on good behavior, but I was on good behavior too because I would clean up after him all the time. So then when we got married, he was like, wait a minute, you used to clean up all the time. Why aren't you cleaning up after me anymore? And I'm like, I don't have time anymore. Like, I was on my best behavior.
So what is the infamous Kim gonna do next? She is off to Australia. Random, right? She must be pretty embarrassed and just has to get out of the country. Well, hopefully this will clear her mind and give her some direction on what to do with her life. Maybe she'll have second thoughts about the divorce. We'll see. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank you for watching the High Society Celeb Gossip for this evening. I'm your host, Lisa Mihalik. Kira, back to you.
Thanks, Lisa. Kim, I can't say I'm surprised. Up next, we have Theo with politics.
This week, Herman Cain's done some pretty special advertising. It's called He Carried Yellow Flowers. The best I can do for this week is to just show you the video. So here it is.
Those some pretty flowers you got there, mister. Pretty yellow flowers.
Well, I'm glad you like them.
You know, I'll bet that you're as yellow as those flowers right there.
Why's it always got to be about color? What are you guys, liberals?
Cut!
Ow.
Not man in.
Your melon mango margarita, sir?
Where's the straw?
Sorry about that.
You like your job?
Oh, that was fabulous, Nick. They're gonna love you in Guam.
Yeah, thanks, babe.
That was so believable.
Yeah, like you know anything.
But you're so pretty.
No eye contact.
And?
Hi, I'm international film and television star Nick Searcy, but you already knew that. I've played a lot of tough guys in movies over the years, but you know what? Looking cool and saying lines that somebody else wrote for me doesn't make me a real tough guy any more than looking cool and reading lines off a teleprompter that somebody else wrote makes a community organizer a real leader. But Herman Cain is a real leader. He's accomplished real things in the real world, created real businesses that that provided real jobs for real people. In 2012, let's get real for a change, people. Take a real look at Herman Cain. I think you'll like what you see. Kind of like when you watch one of my films.
If anyone has any clue as to what Herman Cain is trying to get on about, please let me know. Also, if anyone can explain how a bouquet of flowers had enough density to knock a full-grown man off his feet, be sure to contact science. They might be interested in getting the details on that. Sadly, that's about all the time I have here. Back to you.
That wraps up our show for tonight. From all of us here at Marquette Lately, thank you for watching. I'm Kira Collins. See you next week.